Welcome, friends. You're here with me, Dr. Michelle Arnold, doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. And today I want to help you sleep better, to have a great night's sleep using aromatune, that is meridian tapping, with aromatherapy or tuning forks. But today for sleep, we are primarily going to be using our fingers, the acupressure. That is because it's just so much easier to use when you're about to go to bed or even when you're in bed. So, before we begin, let's talk about insomnia, because if you can't sleep, and especially if this has become an ongoing problem for you, you may know what the underlying issue is, because it always has to do with something in your mind, your brain, and your heart, like the emotions. There's something going on. There is something bothering you. Now, often people will say they know what it is, and then you know what the root problem is, and you need to work on that. But then sometimes maybe there was a problem that happened so long ago that you don't even remember anymore, and this has just become a habit. And perhaps you have forgotten how to soothe yourself to sleep. And a lot of people find that they like white noise, because they can drown out their own thoughts. Like their mind just can't shut off, so they need a fan or music or something like that. But my opinion on that is, well, it might help you get to sleep, but then the background noise is always going, so you're never in quiet mode. Like you're never shut off. Your nervous system is always going. So I do think it is really great. And the best way is if eventually you could be able to fall asleep without having to have, a tool to kind of mask out and drown out your own noise. So how do you shut off your own noise? Well, first of all, with insomnia, one of the first things is to stop worrying about it, because it's kind of like the white or pink elephant in the room. Once you worry about it and worry about it and try and try and try, it gets kind of worse and worse and worse. And we also feel pressure about, having to have a full night, like 8 hours uninterrupted sleep. Otherwise, you have insomnia, or that's not healthy. And there's so many things linked to poor sleep. But that leads to more pressure. And I say, well, if you go to sleep and maybe you're sleeping 6 hours, or maybe you're waking up, but if you're waking up in the morning, you're able to get out of bed and you're not sleepy and you have good energy, you're not lethargic throughout the day, and you also don't feel stressed or anxious, maybe that 6 hours, or maybe even if you're waking up for you, that's okay. Because anthropologically, if we think about mankind as cave people, we weren't really sleeping 100% like solid, because we needed to watch out for predators. Perhaps, we kind of had to have that one eye open, like, be able to be safe. So I don't know if we really have, science makes us sometimes more nervous, because, all the science about sleep is kind of a new thing. And we are anxious, stressed, and insomniacs in this country. So let's use some great acupressure. These are points on your own body that can stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, and then downplay that fight or flight, that sympathetic tone, that stress tone that keeps you anxious and keeps your thoughts going and going. And each of these acupressure points are linked to specific parts of our brain and specific emotions per se. So, and maybe over time of doing these particular acupressure points, you might even find that, hey, now I can narrow it down to one or two, because I find that that's where my problem lies. Those are the ones that are working, for me. So, and don't overthink this. So let's keep this really simple. So if you want to use aromatherapy to begin with, I suggest to either, hey, put it in a diffuser, just so that you can smell it's just wafting in the air. You put 6 drops or whatever into your diffuser, whatever size room is appropriate. You can rub essential oils on the bottom of your feet. And then also you could just massage them, just swipe them along your wrist creases, or even your elbow creases, or along the inside part of your forearms. So we're not going to apply the acupressure essential oils on each, acupressure point. That's just too difficult, okay, for now, because you're going to do this either, um, anytime is okay, but let's say you're getting ready to go to bed and you get in bed and you want to give yourself like 10 minutes. This is what you're going to do. And so it's just easier when you can do this lying in bed, per se. So, your sleeping partner, I don't know what to tell you about that, how you're going to deal with doing something like this with, a sleeping partner, if it will bother them, or maybe they'll join you because they might be like, hey, what the heck are you doing? You're tapping, and maybe we're going to do some sounds for each of the organ systems. So either when you're with your partner, maybe you leave off the sounds, or you do some tapping, or you just get in bed 10 minutes before your sleeping partner gets in bed, or they can do this along with you, or you can make those sounds kind of silently. Okay, so we're going to be doing some sounds, we're going to be doing some pressure and some tapping, and I'm going to just take you quickly through the points so that you can follow along. So please note that if you're using aromatherapy, you can use, there's so many different choices, okay? And there's not a right or wrong one. You'll find through experience which ones work for you, which ones you like. So a few example of choices are like sandalwood, frankincense, vetiver, even wild orange, because wild orange calms anxiety, and it is a feel good. It just soothes and nourishes the heart chakra. So wild orange could be a good one. Lavender, that's kind of the one that typically people think of, but not everybody likes lavender. There is a doTERRA essential oil blend called Serenity, and it does have some lavender in it. So it does smell a lot like lavender. That might work for you. So those are just, let me see if I forgot any. There could be more, but those are just some examples. So use a blend of a few of them together. It doesn't matter. Use whatever you like. Like I said, put it in a diffuser, put them on your feet, rub your wrist creases, because you're hitting on the wrist creases those acupressure points that will help with the emotions and help you sleep and calm the mind. So let's say you've already applied those. If you're using them, you've got them in your diffuser. Then we would be starting with our heart center, our REN 17 acupressure point. So this is going to help your heart. And we're going to do some fast tapping, like the count of 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 3 times. And then we're going to do it slower, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 times. And then we're just going to hold the pressure point, and we're going to make a sound, like the heart chakra has to do with joy and laughter. So we're going to be doing a ha 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 ha, something like that. Okay, so we're going to go here, and then we're going to just cross our arms to touch our ribs. So you can just kind of give yourself a hug, and you're just touching your ribs, and just using some fingers. You're going to be on essentially a spleen 21 point, but hitting more than just that point, hitting the ribs. And I'm just touching, and something like that. Okay, and then we're going to be touching just below our shoulders here, and these are the lungs. So lungs, have to do with grief and sadness, and releasing that grief and letting come and letting go, right? And that sound is. And then from there, we're going to be from the lungs, we're going to be moving on to our adrenals and our kidneys. So that's just below the ends of our collarbones. And the kidneys and adrenals has to do with courage, feeling confident, and releasing fears. And this one sounds like to me, a crashing wave, like shoo. So we'll be doing that, and then ending with the liver, which is just as our rib cage. Just there is a particular point, liver 14, but we're just going to use our fingers, so we're going to hit a lot of this whole area here for the liver. meridian. And again, we'll do some tapping, some pressure, and it's shh, like you're shushing somebody, telling them to be quiet. That releases that anger and pent up emotion. And then at the end, we're going to do a little brow chakra to calm the mind. And a pressure point here is the pinky. And then along here, you've got the edge of your pisiform bone on the wrist crease there. And then we'll press here. And you'll lay down onto your right side. So that's a really good one to just get going with, even if we do that. So again, so let's start with the heart center. Placing fingers like so in the center of your breastbone. And we're going to do some fast tapping. And by the way, if you happen to fall asleep or drift off while doing this, well, then it worked. Don't worry about going through the whole process. So, 1, 2, 3, 5. 4, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. 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 Lungs releasing sadness and grief, letting come and go. One, two, three, 4, 5. Our adrenals, letting go of fear, building confidence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shh. Letting go of anger, frustration, and pent up emotions. Our liver channel, our liver meridian. 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shh. just the center, just as the angle comes up. I'm adding one to release heat in our pericardium, triple warmer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He. 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 Rubbing your hands, placing the palms. Above your eyebrow. Other eyebrow. Other eyebrow. And the bridge. Now placing your index finger on the heart 7 of, say, your right wrist, and then touching your yin tong, your brow right here, and laying down on your right and falling asleep. And you can go through the whole cycle again if you need to, and practice this nightly, and you'll find that you'll be able to have to repeat the cycle like less and less and less, and you may even be falling asleep before you complete the cycle. So enjoy and happy sleeping, and be sure to like, share this video to help others, and subscribe to my channel so that I know that what I'm doing is helping. Thank you so much.